as we get closer to the league season and the tournament season, etc., that's the whole reason for this, for the majority. It's about trying to make sure that you're constantly measuring where your game is, where it's at. What are you trying to get out of it? What area of your game still needs a little bit of work? And if you have a look at the sessions I designed, because they're not just general, they're specific to your needs, but within those specificness, there might be something even more specific to you. And that's what you've got to latch on and decide, okay, that's what I'm going to really focus on more today. So, what we want to try and do is make sure that the intensity of today goes up. So, how do we increase our intensity? So what we've got to do is we've got to make sure the intensity goes up. That means less break, much higher concentration, and also increase the physical aspect of it. So, just to make this really clear, if you're not somebody that plays the game at pace, i.e. takes the ball really, really early, it doesn't mean to say you can't develop that attribute more into your game. That's not saying I'm asking you to go and whack it frickin' and try and take the ball in front of the short line if that's not your game. But you have to look to going towards that more and more and more. Because I can't overstate it enough. If you stay doing what you already do, then I don't understand why you're practicing. Because you can already do that. So your game's not going to change. The goal behind these sessions is to find out what can I bring to my game to improve. And I can tell you now, I'll remind you, out of these 10 sessions, if you get one thing that you choose to change, every single one of these 10 sessions has been a success. But if you get nothing that's changed, because you haven't chosen to do so, and the choice is yours, then these 10 sessions just been a bit of fun, but quite frankly a waste of time for you. Because you're just going to start league doing the exact same thing you've always done. So that's my challenge to you. Alright, so the intensity is less break. Alright, so I'm going to put your physical up. Sorry. Break. Rest. Yeah.
Very good. Who needs rest? Rest is for the weak.
And Laura comes into her own. No, so what we want to do is to realize that you're asking questions of yourself. The whole idea is to test yourself and to see where you might break down. You should start by getting an idea of where you're breaking down and what it is that's breaking down with regards to maybe the actual shot or the decision. So what I'm talking about is in a rally or in a practice session, is it past 30 minutes or 40 minutes when everything starts going a little bit haywire? And in a rally, is it now past shot 6 or 7 or 8? Where is it that it's starting to drop off? So what I'm wanting you guys to do is, if you start working out where those things are, you understand what it is that has to go one shot further or 1 minute longer. Because that's what you're asking of yourself. Because obviously up to that point, you'll be competitive. I don't give a stuff who's on the court with you. But past that, you might not be now. Who is it that breaks down in the rally first when I get tired? Is it me that makes the poor option, or the poor execution, or the poor recovery? You know? Is it me that makes the error, chucks it out of court, or bashes it in the tin? Where does that come from? Can I empower myself more to say, you know, stuff it. I know what's going on. Do I know, when I'm taking on risk? Do I know that when I'm starting to get a little bit knackered, and I'm starting to feel it, my brain knows, okay, decision making might get a bit risky here. I'm probably going to go for it. If it was me, you can trust me, absolutely know for sure, Richie's going to hit a drop from the back of the court if you give him angle. It's going to happen. Yeah, and I'm not just going to put it there, I'm going to freaking cane it in that neck. Yeah, and that's my goal. Whether I get it or not, I don't know. And I won't hit it softly. Why? Because when I'm freaking knackered and I play a soft drop from the back, I can't freaking get to the front corner. So why hit it soft? Move the bloody thing. At least then it comes half court, and I've got a chance of getting there because I've only got to cover half the distance. So my brain's worked out what I know that I'm going to do, so that when I do take that risk, because I know it's a risk, I diminish that risk as much as I can, so I don't hit a shot completely out of desperation. I still hit it within some form of control. And to something that I could potentially cover, because my legs are already swearing at me saying, fuck, I don't want to go there. Alright? Because if I can't manage that, I might as well just shake that person's hand right there and then, because I'm going to lose. But I can bluff them. Because everybody knows I'm tired, but if I put him under enough pressure, he forgets that I'm tired. And then he's focused on him, not me. So then it becomes a game of bullshit, deception and deceive. And that's what you got to learn, because you can win games once you start taking yourself there. So, intensity up, less break. So if we go through the drills, alright, the first one is pretty self-explanatory. There's 3 on the court. Alright, so obviously the first 2 is the guys on the tee. As I said, I've always encouraged all of you to come back to the tee because it gives us reference, particularly the guy hitting every second shot, to make sure that you've got something to hit in relation to, because that's very real. But it is critical that the guy who's on the tee makes every effort to come back quickly. Otherwise, you're not linking your shots. You're just playing one. And particularly in a set routine, you know where the freaking ball's going. So, and I don't quite know what you're trying to achieve. Secondly, you need a target. I'm not putting the targets on the ground. You need to achieve your targets. How tight is tight? Yeah? How deep is deep? You need to make sure that you know, just hitting a ball roughly into an area is just useless practice. It's like all these schmucks that go to the driving range and they're standing there driving. Freaking on, it goes 300 meters, but freaking all over the show. And they get to the golf course and they wonder why they play like such a brat. Because they're not practicing hitting the ball into that space. Why? Because I want to hit it 300 meters rather than 250 straight. So those are the sort of things that we have to deal with, and squash is no different. So, the first exercise, alright, drive, drive, drop, cross. Okay? Drive, drive, drop, cross. Then we start it again on the other side. Make sense? Okay. Drive, drive, drop shot, cross court. Drive, drive, drop shot, cross court. Visualize?
We did it last week.
You did similar.
Yes.
You know how to hit the bow stick. Okay, so I wrote down, I decided this time I'd put the goal down so that you guys understand what it is you're trying to work towards, or what you're trying to work for. Read it through, and you'll get an understanding of what you're really trying to do. The second one, 3 drives and a cross court. So this is all 3 of you doing shots. Alright, so it's alternating. And you're coming through the tee. So it'll be drive, 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 cross court. Obviously on the cross court, if the ball comes through the middle, it's volleyable, you're allowed to volley it. The goal is to get that cross court wide onto the side wall. So this should happen. And this guy should be looking for a volley, realizing no, and coming here. And these guys will be on the tee, and they should be making sure that they give access to the front wall, and the first drive will come. When you've got angle like this, don't hit the side wall. Concentrate on trying to hit the ball straight into the corner. Alright? Always make sure that you don't clip the side wall when you've got angle. Angle straight for the corner, and then all you've got to do is land the ball past where this guy can get. So that might be in the box, it might be behind the box, depending on how lazy this bugger is in terms of getting up onto the tee the way he's supposed to. Alright? But it's 3 drives and a bow. 3 drives and a cross court. The critical thing to this drill is it's the whole back court that we're working. So if you don't move right up to the tee, you're not encouraging anything that you're practicing of any sense. So you've got to do the drive, come right up, look across, in, drive, and I will be there. In, third one, cross court, look for it, out, angle, bang, into the corner, come up, and I'll be one here. And you've got to have that movement. You will notice that if you don't have this movement and you don't have length, you'll be in each other's way, and you'll just find this drill freaking irritating. If it gets irritating, you're hitting the ball cuck. End of story. There's short length, it's not deep, the angles are poor, and someone's not moving back to the tee. This requires all 3 of you to focus. Alright? Okay. Drill 3. Drive, drive, both drop, volley feed, volley drop. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate this, because obviously it sounds like a lot. But the reality is, if you know what it is that you're doing, it isn't. I need 3 guys on court. Go, come.
Here's a wall ball.
Just go, just
Go. One more.
Now,
okay. Drive. Okay, so this is about one person working. Alright. Okay. Alright, so you're going to drive. Yeah, he's going to drive. all the way to the tee. You don't volley his drive. This is cut loose, because then you just showed it. Alright? You then boast. So you're going to drive, and then you're going to boast. Alright? You're going to come in, you're going to drop that ball. I'm going to come back and drop. You're going to come back to the tee. The call here, now listen very carefully. The drive stays the same. The second ball is going to be a boast. That's to move the guy the length, preferably to be on the tee. He's going to come in and drop. Why? Because we should be dropping boast. That's basic, simple technique, at least tactics. The key though on the drop is not the drop, it's your exit. How quickly you get in, because you've moved inside the ball and then covered it out to here. Because I'm coming in right up your ass, because I know where the ball's going here, I'm going to fetch it. You've got to give me direct access, and you've got to clear, and then I'm just going to pop the ball up like that, maybe a bit harder depending on how fast, and then he's in with a volley drop. I stay here, obviously, he's back to the tee, I drive, no volley, because you know where the damn ball's going. Let me start again. Alright? So it's drive, post, drop, volley feed, volley drop, and then you're back to drive. Okay? So the goal behind this is to attack a boast with a drop shot, to come out, put the ball back in short. Why? Because a schmuck is busy coming out, so you change his direction, you take him back in short. You then go back into the back corner, hit a drive, and start again attacking the boast. So this is about the drop shot and getting out of the front corners. Does that make sense? Me, the feeder, so us two. I don't care if the ball bounces twice. Yeah? It's a great shot of the neck, just pick the ball up and just feed again. Alright, what I notice with you guys when you do drills, when it's a cock-up, it's like, okay, everything must stop and we go back to it. What are you going to do? Okay, you drive. Just carry on with the exercise straight there to build routine. So we're going to try it? I'll call it. Drive. You know, see, already cut in the way I told you, in the way I need to drive. Alright, drive, post, drop. Oh, I got that big, sorry. Body drop. Good. Stay where you are, drive. Where are you going? Okay, carry on, post, drop. You're in behind it, and you see a body drop. Drop, drive, leave it, drive, push, drop, good, and drop. You understand? It requires all three of us to work. Have you got it yet or not? There's still question marks. I can see. We'll keep doing it. There's question marks on faces.
Are we? Are we?
Watch. Drive. Two drives. Post. Drop. Drop. Okay. Body feet. Drop. And now we're back to the beginning. Drive. One drive. Two drives. Post. Drop. Here. Body feet. Drive. Back to the T drive. Back to the beginning. Post. Good. Drop. Stroke. Okay. Drive. Post. Drop. Good. Body feet. Good. Good. Body feet. Drop. No, that's a lot. Body feet. Drop. Drive. Back to being drive. Post. Good. Good. Okay. Understand it? Yeah. So as you can see, it's a high intensity exercise. If you drop your concentration for 1 second, it becomes a cock-up. You've got to stay on it. This is for 3 minutes each. Okay. Alrighty? After that, you can have some water if you want. Then what we're going to do is the cut-off game. Read carefully what I wrote down there. So the cut-off game is, the ball is allowed to touch the back wall on the service, and one other shot per rally. Alright, and it's allowed to touch the back wall through a lob. The biggest problem and the challenge with this game is to understand it's still normal squash. You still use the whole court. Yes, you will volley some balls you ordinarily wouldn't to stop a game to the back wall. But too quickly this game just becomes a mud and soup game about the back wall, which is not its objective. Its objective, long term, is to make you play the game faster, look for more volleys, use the lob, have better angles with regards to your length as to how to get the ball past someone. Yeah? and then obviously still utilizing the entire court. So it's a total build-up, if you have a look at the way I've structured this, from everything we've just done in our earlier practice, which is set shot drills, no decision making. But if you do it properly, it's about getting that accuracy, getting it past it, and it's about bringing it to the game. Also, once again, it's a high intensity game. So how do we play this in threes? One rally, one person at the back, winner stays on, first to 10 points. Alright? Then we'll have 20 quad sprints, 20 sit-ups, 20 press-ups for the two that lose. So first to 10 wins, you don't have to do anything. If you want to do the running, I would suggest you do it anyway. Why? Because we're trying to hammer you now. We're trying to get you to a state of fatigue before we go on to the last exercise and say, where am I at? What can I do? How well can I keep my head now that I have to play a length game with anything on the volley and as many short counters as you like, depending on the decisions that get made? Yeah? And what's the objective? How am I going to win from here when my body's starting to get tired? And if I'm not tired, have I been in wooden soup puppy mode with the previous match? I don't want to bring that to what I'm doing unless I've been doing it really accurately and really well. And I won't be doing it accurately and well if I haven't brought targets to my first 3 sessions. If I haven't brought an understanding of what it is I'm trying to achieve. Because it's not about how good I am in the first one, but the first one can dictate how good I am in the last drill. And that's the ultimate thing we're trying to get to playing. Tuesday evening is going to be a playing session, alright? It's just playing. But once again, no breaks. We'll have one break for water, and then obviously I don't want anybody getting injured. And we will sit out a little bit because we'll see how it goes. So hopefully it's nice and warm and we don't get too injured. But the scenario is that's what we want to do. And we're going to have high intensity playing sessions. So think about the length game. What is the length game designed to do? What's its goal? What's its objective? We did it last week. Remember I said the length game with anything on the volley. And if you go short, you open up the whole court, yeah?
To move your opponent away from the tee so that you can step forward and volley.
Okay, 1, to hunt the volley. And then to understand what your length and your width has to do in order to achieve that objective. And how long are you prepared to do it for until that objective arises? Number 2? Yeah, teaching how accurate to hit the freaking ball. You know, just mooring it to a general target isn't going to get past your opponent. And just doing it one way. Okay? So it's also designed to do that. And the third thing? Yeah, it's all about your movement. Which means it's about your physical. It means it's about your concentration. So it's understanding how I'm always covering the front of the court. What's the tactical objective, aside from the length that we've spoken about? What is hunting a volley going to do to my opponent?
I don't know.
Make him come out the back corners like freaking a Ferrari F40. Yeah? Whether I hit the ball to the front or not, that's what's got to happen. And the minute he doesn't move like the Ferrari F40, that ball goes short. Not once, every freaking time. How do I grow that awareness in my head? The only way I can grow it is I've got to be in a position to see it and to think about it. Not just think about it, because I'm not in a position, I'm not going to be able to capitalize on it. So how hard am I prepared to work up? Push up on that tee. Past my comfort zones. Because it might mean, because it's length game, I then have to turn and go much further back than I normally would, which is not my comfort zone. But at least then I've shut down the front corners. And that's what we're trying to do. Ultimately, the length game is getting someone coming out of here, have to cover the front, and then shit, all the way, and then have to cover the That's what you're trying to make someone do. And then eventually it's, okay. That's the game of chess that's going on. And it's difficult when you start fatiguing. You know what's going on, yeah? With nobody, yeah. Put it so keep going. One match wonder. Do it for 5 matches in a row as the competition gets higher. We don't have the energy left. That's why it's so easy for the better pros to stay at the top. Why? Because they no longer have to qualify. They no longer have to do that. It's just about maintaining the intensity. So, but the principle doesn't matter whether we play 20th league or if you're a touring pro, you've got to try and achieve this. Have some fun with it. If someone in your court slacks off, like mentally they drop away or don't get pissed off, just motivate them. Yeah, come on, keep it going, dropping off. Or it might be someone's gone past their comfort zone with regards to their concentration period. It's fine. Have some water, take a little 1 minute time out on your court, and then come back. But see how you can maintain this today. To the best of your capability as a group on the court. Does that make sense? Okay.